just like every other time, okay, when we talked about sponges, okay, a sponge is what phylum? Porifera, okay. Give me a class of a sponge. Leuconoids. What about them? They're most complex because they've got lots of these. Lots of what? Oh, I thought that's what you said, but I wasn't sure. Multiple oscula, or osculum. Okay, what's another class of poriferans? Asconoids. Are they inquisitive because they ask lots of questions? Maybe? I doubt it. But what's true about the asconoids? They simple or more complex than the cycanoids? More simpler. And they only have one, what? One osculum, as opposed to the cycanoids also have one osculum, but they're a little larger than the asconoids, okay? We're going to keep doing this, not only just for each chapter, but all throughout the course of the semester, because your semester exam is the phylogeny tree. How many of you remember that from biology? A phylogeny tree means the animal kingdom, the chordate or vertebrata phylum, and the class was all the same. They're all mammals. Okay? You had pinnipeds, you had proboscideans, you had primates, you had edentians, rodents. Okay? That's a phylogeny tree. It's classifying each individual animal into its appropriate, again, order. And then we even go down to the family level, and we'll do that next semester as well when we get to the snakes. We go one step further, okay? So now we're talking about cnidarians. What is significant about the cnidarians? We talked about what makes a sponge belong in phylum Porifera. What makes these animals belong in phylum Cnidaria? That's a characteristic. Yep, they have radial symmetry, tentacles, and what about those tentacles? They sting with venom. That's right. Okay, so we continue a little further, okay, with these symbiotic relationships, okay? Notice we finally talked a little bit about this with anthozoans, which are sea anemones, okay? And then we talked about those with the clownfish. Okay. So not only is it just in what you would consider Finding Nemo, you would also see that with this example as well. So again, think about what a symbiotic relationship is. Okay, so first of all, what's a symbiotic relationship? You can really sum it up really quickly with two organisms that what? Work together, benefit from one another, they all mean the same thing. Okay? So what's the hermit crab getting out of this? Well, the hermit crab already has it, but why are these sea anemones on there? What's that going to do for... Say that again. Well, I suppose you say keep it clean, but probably you're really not going to. If you're a hermit crab, I'm probably not going to attack you if you've got sea anemones on you. Why not? You're a tasty crab. Why not attack you? Say that again. Yeah, because you've got venomous creatures on you. Okay? So that's going to benefit the hermit crab. Well, the hermit crab must do something for the sea anemones then, if that's what we say they benefit from one another. Well, they do. One of the characteristics of sea anemones is that they have a characteristic in common with sponges. What's true about all sponges, along with having an osculum, they're all what? They're all sessile. So if these creatures can't move, which they can't, being on an organism that moves is certainly going to be beneficial. Okay? Because I would certainly be led to believe that sometimes there's a case of mistaken identity or just not paying attention, so you're an animal that swims too close to the hermit crab, then gets stung. Gets stung. Okay? Or envenomated, so therefore it's an easy food source moving from point A to point B. Okay? We briefly said what this was, dimorphism. We verbally said what it means. It came from an insect. Or no, excuse me, it transforms into an insect. You might have collected them as kids. Well, you're still. That's the end result. That's the insect. You went too far. We need to back up. You're right, but so take that butterfly and back up. Say it again. Couldn't be any type, which is a type of caterpillar. What that does is then eventually transforms into a butterfly. That's right. Okay, so it's the class Hydrozoa that does this, that goes through what we call dimorphism, okay? Because what happens, okay, is a polyp, which is a form of Hydra in the class Hydrozoa, okay, that's how it gets its name, is adapted for sessile life, which means it's just going to stay in one spot. So there's really no rhyme or reason why they change. They may just stay as a polyp, or they may go through dimorphism, which means it changes from this type of an animal, a polyp, into a medusa, which then resembles that of a jellyfish, which means now it's free to swim, okay? Because when you look at this lifestyle, again, we associated that with a sessile life. It means it's not moving. Once it transforms into a medusa, which then resembles a jellyfish, now it's going to start moving from point A to point B. That is an example of dimorphism. Okay, so tomorrow we will continue talking about these polyps, but for the remainder of the time, I believe this talks about those really, really tiny jellyfish. They're called box jellyfish, but there's a Latin name for them as well. And we verbally said what it was. You think you might remember what we said? Era something. Okay, and I wouldn't expect you to remember. I thought maybe someone possibly might. It's called irukandji. So we will finish, probably not the whole thing, but get this started, and then we will continue again with polyps tomorrow.